I know my chance with her is blown, well, my mouth gets carried away. I'm tongue-tied, 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 I get tongue-tied.
What up, IDS Mob? Harry Wilmington here, and today I'm going to be giving you examples of what highly interested women look like. Now, I'm doing this because as of late, I've gotten a few messages from guys who started dating women, and then 2 to 3 months in, they're starting to get less messages. The woman's starting to flake out on dates and or not accept dates altogether. And so I want to give you guys a reminder that when women like you, one, they help you, and number two, if she's chasing you, she can't be replacing you. And women that have a high interest in you and know your value are going to do the chasing willingly because they realize that you are a rarity amongst the men that are trying to go after them, and that if they're not doing their part, they could lose you. So this started because I went on Facebook and I saw a random text message that a woman had posted up, and it simply said, 12 years ago, I talked to a stranger at a bar for over 3 hours. He said goodbye and nothing more when I left. In the parking lot, I got angry. I stormed back in and yelled at him for not asking for my phone number. We're married now. So to recap what happened, she talks to a guy, builds a really good rapport. He's saying the right things. He's making her feel, he's probably making her laugh, and she's having feeling a good connection with him because women don't come across guys every day that they can have a good rapport with that makes them feel relaxed and safe and all that other stuff. And then so at the point where he says goodbye, she's thinking, wait a minute, like I just had a great conversation with this guy and he's gonna just go away? Like that's it? I never get to see him again. So the only way I get to see him now is if I give him my number, if I go after him and say, hey, I want to be in contact or whatever. But because she saw such value in their interaction, she was willing to make that move, and now they're married. Now, I told a story on here about a friend of mine who met an introverted guy at a party. He was sitting on the couch by himself, minding his business. She goes over there, starts talking to him, banter, banter, banter. And then at some point, his social battery ran out, and he was like, hey, I got to go. Nice to meet you. And starts heading for the exit and walking towards the elevator outside the door. At which point, she chases this guy, or follows him to the door, and then walks with him to the elevator, says, hey, take my number, and then kisses him in the elevator. And now they're married with 2 kids. So I point this out because, I think as men, we oftentimes think, well, you have to be the one to do all the moves. You have to be the one to show all the interest. And if you don't show it the right way, then you're not going to get her. And I think sometimes in the process of that, we forget that women will do their own actions too. And also, this is why I try to really press to you guys that as many men as you think are going after these women that you find like the hottest of the hot, most of them do not either fit her standard, or even if her standards are like relatively reasonable, the reality is she's not going to have a lot of chemistry that clicks with these guys. So that's why I say if she agrees to a date with you, you've already won half the battle, because most guys, for every 10 guys that ask her out, she's saying yes to like 1 or 2 offers, and you're one of those offers. All you got to do is show up, be your authentic self, not mess it up too much by saying something crazy or acting all weird, and more often than not, she's probably going to like you. But this shows here that women are going to definitely be the ones to make these moves if they are highly interested. So I saw that one, and then there were comments below that text of other women giving examples of this same thing happening to them. So here's another one. This woman said, I met my husband at a party full of his friends. We hung out on his tailgate all night. They were all going to the lake the next day. When I was pulling out of the party to leave, this is the woman now, I rolled my window down and asked him, well, are you going to invite me to the lake for tomorrow? He did, and we've been inseparable ever since. Married 9 years, together 12 years. So this is another situation where all the guy did was show up and talk to her, make her feel like laughing and building that chemistry and connection, not pushing an agenda. And I think this is important to note too, is that a lot of guys, when you're going on dates, you're thinking, okay, the agenda's got to be that I got to make this work, and I'm going to do things to make her feel things for me. And it's like these dudes are just being their regular old selves, and because they're not pressuring the situation, the woman's able to experience them in an authentic way that makes her realize, oh crap, this is actually like a really good guy. So when he starts to, go off or not pay any more attention or whatever, now she's got a choice to make. Does she be the woman that like says, well, he's got to ultimately come to me and, ask me out all the things or whatever? Or does she say, oh crap, if I don't make the move, I'm not going to see him again. Let me let him know that I want him to take my number. Let him know that I want to go to the lake with him. Let him know that I want to spend time with him, you know? And so if you have a woman in your life right now that is suddenly start to back away or is, not being accepting to dates, think about this, right? These women are throwing themselves to these guys saying, no, I want to spend time with you. I want to go out with you. Please, take my stuff. If you're with a woman that's just like, oh, I can't make it today, and not giving a counter offer, or saying, oh, I'm so sorry, I can't make it all of a sudden, and not explaining to you why she can't make it, are those women highly interested? My answer is always no. And so once you build up a level of confidence in yourself to where you realize that there are plenty of women out here for your taking, not just like one, or there's not like, oh, if I don't make it work with this one, then it's not going to ever happen for me. It's like, no, once you get to the point where you realize you have an abundance mentality and that there are plenty of other women that you could connect with, and that if you don't get this one, that's fine because there's like others out there that you're going to eventually meet. Women can feel that energy. They can feel that you're not stressing, that you're not going to force them to do anything they don't want to do. And ironically, you not forcing your agenda on them is going to make them choose the agenda you want for them, which is for them to choose you. So there's another example here. This person says, I was bartending on Valentine's Day when a man came to a bar to commiserate with other single people. We talked for hours, even after my shift ended. Pause. Bartender ladies get men coming by and talking to them all the time. The fact that this lady was willing to stay beyond her shift to talk to this guy is already a signal to this guy, or should be, that she's already highly interested. Most guys won't always get that signal. You may be one of those that may not read into that early on, but it's important to know. A woman, if you meet her at her job and she gets off of work and she's still like, I'm going to stay here longer and talk to you, that's a high interest sign, guys. That is telling you that she wants to spend that time, that she's enjoying your company. So then she says, he didn't ask for my phone number. And by the way, guys, I'm not saying you shouldn't be asking for numbers, because if you're feeling the vibe, then you definitely should. I think some guys don't ask because they just figure they have no shot. I say always shoot your shot. But even with that, she says, he didn't ask for my phone number, and this is what happened, all right? So this is for you guys that talk about, oh, I got to text her every single day or she's going to forget about me or she's going to not think I'm interested. This woman said, didn't ask for the phone number, so he couldn't text her, right? I thought about him all week and just hoped I would be scheduled for that same shift next week and that he would come to find me. And both those things happened, and we are getting married in October. So notice, he didn't give her the number. He didn't ask for hers, which again was a mistake on his part. But the point is, that did not deter her from having feelings for him. She didn't berate him later. You didn't ask me for my number, so blah, blah, blah. No, she was just like, I just hope I get to see him again. Okay? And so for you guys that are thinking, well, if I don't text her every single day, she's going to get mad at me. I'm telling you, when women like you, they will give excuses for your behavior. They will say, well, I hope he calls me, and if he doesn't, then maybe it's something I did or whatever. But the point is that they're just hoping they get another shot with you. They're not going to be worrying about all this thing. This is why I tell you guys too, I tell you guys to wait a minimum of 4 days between dates to contact a woman. And some guys look at me crazy like, well, that's playing games and blah, blah, blah. But no, it's like, the point is that we want to make sure you're testing for a sane woman, but also it's to prove to you guys that you don't need to be on the phone with a woman every single day in order to get her to be interested. Because if she's interested, she'll just be happy to hear from you whenever. And as long as you're just asking her on dates, she's not going to hold that against you for having a lack of communication. And the ones that do, they got their own attachment style issues, which can be discussed and talked about. But even then, that doesn't mean you give in to, well, she said she wants me to text her every day, so I got to do that, because that could be a signal of unhealthy behavior coming from her. All right. Anyway, so then this other woman says, my husband is shy and introverted. I'm an introvert, but he checked all the white flag checklist. Asked him out, and we both proposed to each other. Married for 6 years and going strong. Important sentence in this particular situation is where she says, I asked him out first, okay? And this is for you guys that are thinking, well, again, I always got to be the one to ask her out and blah, blah, blah. Like, when women have high interest, this can happen. I've had plenty of times where I'd go on a first date with a woman, like, I met her on a dating app or in person or whatever, take her on that first date, and then my plan is to wait 4 to 5 days before I hit her up. And by the next day, they're hitting me up. Hey, I got an idea to go to the beach, or hey, we should go do this thing at this arcade. Like, they're coming to me now. And like I said, if they're chasing you, they can't be replacing you. But women that have high interest are going to propose time to spend with you because they want more of your presence. This other woman says, I met my husband through a mutual friend. We sat up and talked all night. He left without asking for my number. So what did she do? She Facebook messaged him the next night, chewing him out for it. The rest is history. We've been together 10 years. So think about the process of that. He didn't give her his number, and he didn't ask for her number, right? So what did she have to do to now contact this guy? Well, she had to remember his full name. She had to go on Facebook and hope that he had a profile, probably looked at the profile for a little bit, and then had to message him. So she had to do all this searching. She had to chase after him in order to be able to reconnect with this guy. And even though she chewed him out about it, which was probably done in a playful way, the point is this, is that she was letting him know, no, I want contact with you. I want you to hit me up and take me out, and we can have a good time together. And this is what I'm telling you guys, that you guys that are dealing with these flaky women and thinking, well, you know, if I just say the right word, can I get her to like me? It doesn't have to be that hard, because when women like you, they help you. When women don't, they won't. And so in these cases, you can see that all these women like these guys and either said, I want to see you, or threw out the number, or asked for on a date. Like, these are the things that will legitimately happen, because again, you guys are thinking that women have this abundance, but the abundance they feel they have is minimal, because most of the guys aren't going to fit who they want. So when they see you and see you as the person that they want, then they're going to do the work they need to do to attract you. But you can mess that up if you have the headset of, oh, but she's hitting me up now, but she's probably got other suitors and she's just playing games. And you're not realizing that she's choosing you because those other people that she's been trying to go after that she's been dating for like months on end or now, or trying to go out on dates with, like, haven't been making her feel the same things that you make her feel, right? Now, last thing I want to point out is there was a guy that commented under all this, and he said, it's funny how we read these things, and if it comes from women, we giggle and go, how amusing. But if it was from a man, we'd be wanting to put him on a registry somewhere. And you know what? He's absolutely right. Think about the stuff I just talked to you guys about, right? Woman talks to a guy for 3 hours. Let's reverse it. Man talks to a woman for 3 hours, goes to his car, gets angry, comes back in and yells at her for not getting the number. How would that look? Meeting a guy meets a girl at a party, and then at the end says, hey, are you going to invite me to the lake tomorrow? Doesn't look as good. The bartender thing, like, where the guy's the bartender and the girl comes in and doesn't get the number, and he waits a week and she comes back in. Oh, I've been waiting to see you again for so long. Blah, blah, blah. It doesn't come across good. And so this is why I tell you guys that you can't be mad at the oftentimes hypocrisy or lopsidedness of dating, because sometimes it's not fair on both sides. You know, it's not fair that women have to worry about their safety on dates, and it's not fair as guys that we can't do some of the things that women do to show interest. But that's the point, is that women are going to show interest in ways that as men we can't get away with, and that's totally fine, because all you should really care about is, are you getting the results that you want? And are the women that you want to get with liking you back and doing actions that indicate that? So for you guys that are watching these videos and thinking, man, like, I have a woman I was talking to and she was really interested, and now it seems like I gotta, pull teeth practically to get her on a date. Dating is not that hard. It's really not. There's going to be times where you meet women and they're showing all this interest in the beginning, and then over time it starts to wane a bit, or it just goes away altogether. And if you notice that starts to happen with the woman, you're thinking, I got to push all this extra hard in order to get her to like me again. And you really don't, because as you can see, when women have a very high, strong interest in you, they're not going to do things to make you leave or push you away. They're going to do things that let you know that they're in your orbit and that they want to be around. But here's the caveat to even with that, right? Is that even with that being true, the reality is still in the first 3 months of dating, if you're doing too much, if you're giving of yourself too much, if you're there too much to where she's not getting the idea that she wants to see you and making it her choice to see you, then it can still push her away. And I want you to be able to be the kind of guy that when he meets a woman, she's clamoring for you, instead of thinking that this guy's around a lot and it's causing burnout. If you need help with that, you can go to introvertdatingsuccess.com and sign up for the Introvert Dating Success Membership Academy. Also, if you'd like to do a one-on-one phone consultation, I've been doing a lot of those lately, and I love helping you guys figure out what your situation is and how you can move forward. You can go to introvertdatingsuccess.com, click on the coaching tab, and we can have a conversation today. That's it. That's all I got, guys. I'm Harry Wilmington. Thank you guys for watching. Oh, and be sure to, a quick reminder, on February 10th, my pal Nan Juan's album, No Girls For You, the soundtrack is coming out, and the first song from that album, called Tongue Tied, is available to listen to now on this channel, and is available for download at the website as well as on streaming services. So be sure to check out that song. It's pretty funny, and the whole album is great. Anyway, that's all I got. I'm Harry Wilmington, and I will catch you guys on the next show. I'm out. Peace.
When I see a hot girl, my tongue gets